On the record in the matter of BWW Management versus Samari Cole, 24-06080, council appearance.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Robert Afternicky, attorney for the plaintiff.
What's your name, ma'am? Samari Cole. Okay, today was the date that was set for a hearing. This is for non-payment of rent. Let's see. And there's a conditional dismissal?
Yes, Your Honor. The terms are essentially that Ms. Cole will pay a total of $4,983.26. That's good. That's the amount of rent plus court costs through the end of January. She's going to pay $2,400 on or before January 31st, and the remainder and February's rent for February 28th, 2025. And the plaintiff will make all previously requested repairs on or before January 31st, 2025. I did.
Okay, that's how you want to proceed today, ma'am?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have the right to have a contested hearing or proceed to trial in this matter. You want to give up the right to have a trial or a hearing in this matter to have a conditional dismissal? You want to give up your right to be represented by an attorney today? Is anybody threatening you to give these rights up? No. Oh, so you want the conditional dismissal to enter today? The terms stated on the record was that you would pay past due rent in the amount of $4,783.26 plus court costs of $210 for a total of $4,983.26. You'll pay $2,400 towards the balance on or before the 31st of this month, January 2025, and that you will pay February rent and remainder of the balance on or before February 28th. And the plaintiff is going to make all of the requested repairs on or before July 31st. What are the requested repairs?
Ms. Cole had indicated that she had made some requests to the plaintiff. I'm not sure of all of them at this time, but
my sink was like stopped up and like all the water was just overflowing. He ended up fixing that before Horton. Again, I had pictures and everything, but
yeah, well, if you're gonna have this agreement, I need to know what the repairs are, because what's gonna happen or what could happen is I don't know what the repairs are. This case gets dismissed. You don't later have a repair that you believe was requested prior to taking care of. There's no record of it.
Yeah, he fixed it before.
So it was just a sink issue?
No, it was the ceiling too. Like he ended up having repaired.
So the ceiling's been, all of your repairs have already been requested, taken care of, so there's no outstanding repairs? Okay, wonderful. Okay, so you have 3 business days from the date that you signed this to return to the court if you misunderstood any of the rights that you waived. You can request to have this set aside and we'll set it for a hearing. Partial payment or performance of this agreement will not satisfy this agreement. So that means you can't just pay the $2,400 that's due by this month and then pay the next installment late or on your own terms. You got to follow this to the T. Do you understand that? If you don't, then they can request to have judgment enter against you and remove from the property without notifying you of a new court date. Do you have any questions for the court at this time? Any additional matters for the record?
no, no, thank you.
You're all set. We'll get you a copy. Now, see it. Okay. I gotta approve it, before they can decide they can come, and I think they're trying to file some motion, and she doesn't think that they can do it. But I don't see it in here. Whenever they-
I did give them.
So I think the issue is that they have to ask for leave to do that. They just can't decide that they're going to add somebody. They gotta ask for permission. That's what she sent me an email about. The record in the matter of Quest IRA versus Charles King and Carrie Horton, 24-06185. Council appearance.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Louis Crenshaw, appearing on behalf of the plaintiff.
Your name? Carrie Horton. Your name?
Charles King.
Okay, today was the date that was scheduled, and this is for a hearing for non-payment of rent. And my understanding is that there's a consent judgment.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, you can put the terms on the record.
Yes. We have a consent judgment for possession only, and the total is $2,427.37. The plaintiff can apply for an order evicting the defendant if the defendant does not pay the plaintiff this amount by January the 31st, 2025.
That's accurate as to how you want to proceed. Okay, the last time he was here, the note that I had was that you had made contact with DHHS. Is that still accurate?
Reply, they denied,
Okay,
and for the organizations, said they only helping with people that are on Section 8 and subsidized.
okay, so you want to move forward with the consent judgment today, ma'am? I need to hear your response. That's why I asked it
Yes.
again. Thank you. Can I have the,
Yes, Your Honor.
okay, and so consent judgment I will enter today if you give up your rights to have a possession turned over to the plaintiff if you don't pay the past due rent to retain $2,370.72 plus $56.65 for court costs for a total amount due $2,427.37, that you'll pay that amount or you'll vacate the property in question no later than January 31st, 2025. That's accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, you understand that you did have the right to be represented by an attorney today? You want to give up that right?
Yes,
You have the right to proceed to trial on this matter. You could have continued with your hearing today. You understand that, right? You want to give up your right to hearing? Anyone threatening you to do that? Anyone threatening you to do that, sir?
Come in.
Okay, any promises being made if you give up those rights? Okay, you have 3 business days from today's date. If once you leave here, you realize you misunderstood the rights that you've given up, you can return to the court and request to have this agreement set aside, and we'll set a court hearing, okay? We'll get you a copy of that in just a moment. Any additional matters for the record? Counsel,
Beg your pardon?
any additional matters for the record?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you're all set. Thank you. You're welcome. On the record in the matter of the people of, I'm sorry, wrong date. On the record in the matter of Manor Bourne Limited versus Jolie York 24-05223. Appearance, please, counsel.
Your Honor, I am Carol Fossey, P number 32307 for Mark Wasberry. I represent Manor Bourne.
And this is Alyssa Hall of Legal Services of South Central Michigan, representing defendant Jolie York.
And where's Miss York?
I'm on here. Can you guys hear me?
I can
Hello?
hear you. Yes. What is your address? Miss York?
3610 West Miller Road, apartment B as in boy.
Okay, today was the date that was set for a hearing for non-payment of rent. How are we proceeding on this?
Your Honor, we have a consent for a conditional dismissal, a consent order. It was submitted to the court earlier today. And it provides that Ms. York will pay rent and court costs totaling $1,316.56 by January 21, 2025.
Ms. Hall?
Yes, that's accurate. We have submitted a consent order for conditional dismissal through my file.
Okay, I don't need to file. Okay, Ms. York, is that accurate as to how you want to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you're gonna pay past due rent in the amount of $1,146.50 plus court cost of $170.06 for a total amount due $1,316.56. As for rent due through a period of January 31st, 2025, and that you shall pay the amount in 2D, which is the $1,316.56 by January 21st, 2025. And defendant may tender payment in partial payments or through social service agencies paying on her behalf. Defendant does not waive any rights under paragraph 7. Plaintiff does not waive any rights under paragraph 7 if the amount is not paid in full by January 21st, 2025, and plaintiff is not required to provide a document from third party payment. That's accurate, how you want to proceed, Ms. York?
Yes. Yes,
Okay, let's see here. Yeah, the right to proceed to trial in this matter. Did you want to give up your right to have a trial in order to move forward in this form?
yes,
You understand that partial performance will not satisfy this agreement. So you need to do exactly what you said you were going to do. Otherwise, they can request to have the agreement set aside and judgment will then enter against you and you will not get notice of a new court date.
yes, Your Honor. I plan on getting help from with $1,000 from an agency, and then I am going to work on paying the remaining 300 myself.
Okay, thank you. You have 3 business days from today's date. If once you leave here, you realize you misunderstood the right you gave up, which was your right to trial, you can return to court and request to have this agreement set aside, and then you'd have to explain how you misunderstood your right, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, any additional matters for the record today, counsel?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
You're all set.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Same to you. On the record in the matter of Todd Dowrick versus Marcos Olivz and Ann Wright, 24-07272. Have your appearance, please.
Dowrick.
Right.
Marcos Olivz.
Okay, today was the date that was set for a hearing for non-payment of rent. Did the parties come to a resolution?
We did, we have a consent judgment.
Put the terms on the record.
Possession amount is $4,434.64. That includes the court costs. Needs to be paid by January 20th, 2025. Our issued money judgment total is $3,672.70.
That's accurate as to how you want to proceed.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you get the paperwork, please? So you have the right to be represented by an attorney in this matter. You understood that, right? You want to give that right up?
Yes.
You have the right to proceed to trial in this matter, and you could have demanded a jury trial. You understood that? You want to give up your right to trial?
Yes, Judge.
Anybody threatening you to give up these rights?
No, Judge.
Any promises to get you to give these rights up?
No, Judge.
So you want judgment to enter against you by your consent? You agree the past due rent to retain possession is $4,250 plus court costs in the amount of $184.64 for a total amount due $4,434.64. That you'll pay that and vacate. I'm making a correction, no later than the 21st of January because we're closed the 20th.
Yes, ma'am.
You didn't say pay or vacate.
Pay or vacate no later than that. However, I was just about to say there is a consent to money judgment that will enter against you as well. The amount $3,488.06 plus court costs, $184.64 for a total $3,672.70. Is a money judgment that will enter against you by your consent, correct?
Yes,
And that's your signature up there.
Yes.
Okay, you have 3 business days from today's date. If once you leave here, you realize you misunderstood the rights that you've given up, you would have to return to the court, go to the clerk's office and file a motion to set aside judgment. And you have to explain how you misunderstood the rights that you just gave up. Also, you're gonna be advised that you may file a motion for new trial or to set aside any default or appeal by the 21st of this month, okay? We'll get you a copy of that paperwork. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Any additional matters for the record?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Doward,
No, Your Honor.
you're all set. Thank
Have a
you.
great day.
Same to you. We'll get you a copy of the paperwork. Ms. Oliver, which matter are you here for?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Yes, I'm on with Nikki Spiker versus Twin Oaks Meadows. I represented Nikki Spiker, who had a a conditional dismissal entered on the 20th, but the other defendant in this case, whom I did not represent, is still on the docket today. So I wanted to make myself available to the court in case the court needed me for anything.
Okay, your client is all set, and this is the other defendant you're saying?
Yes, Nikki Spiker. Yeah.
She was deal two or something? Who was Nikki Spiker?
Her client was deal too.
Okay, if your client is all set, then you're free to go.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. This is the matter of Todd Dowrick versus Linda Secord and Floyd Secord, 24-07273. Names for the record, please.
Dowry.
Name for the record, please.
Linda Secord.
Today is the date that was set for hearing for non-payment of rent. Mr. Dowrick, did you all resolve this?
We did. We have a consent order for conditional dismissal.
Oh, what's the terms?
The terms are the total balance to January 31st, 2025 is $2,646.40. The monthly rent of $1,200 will be paid by the 4th of each month. $500 will be paid by the 10th of each month until payment is all balanced.
Okay, that's how you want to proceed, Mr. and Ms. Secord?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. You can't already hear it. so-
What are you saying yes to?
You don't know.
Well, then you can't, then it doesn't work that way. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Can you hear her?
Then you need to respond to me. Do you need a hearing device?
I got a hearing, I gotta go hearing a doctor, Friday. They're gonna get
Okay,
you-
we're gonna get you something in just a moment. Rhonda?
Thank you.
Can you hear me now? Can you help him adjust the volume, please? Test.
Not that. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
A little bit,
Can you hear me now?
yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, so Mr. Dowrick said that you're gonna enter a consent order for conditional dismissal, meaning the case will be dismissed under some conditions. That's what you want to do?
Yes,
Okay, and so you both are agreeing that you're gonna pay the past due rent that's owed $2,480 plus court costs $166.40 for a total amount due $2,646.40, correct?
Good.
And that's rent due through the end of this month?
Oh, yes, January 31st.
And it says total balance through January 31st, 2025 is $2,646.40. Your monthly rent of $1,200 will be paid by the 4th of each month $500 will be paid by the 10th of each month until the past due balance is paid in full. That's what you're agreeing to?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, partial performance will not satisfy this, so that means you gotta do exactly what you said you're gonna do. You can't pay your past due rent or your upcoming rent and then only pay $4.99. You gotta pay exactly what you said you're gonna do, otherwise he can have judgment entered against you and get you removed from the property without a hearing. You understand that? You both understand that you had the right to be represented by an attorney?
Yes,
Yes,
You wanna give up that right?
yes.
You too, sir?
can't afford it.
Well, I am not asking if you can afford
No,
it.
just
I'm
give it
asking you
up.
if you want to give up the right.
Yes,
Okay, you also have the right to proceed to trial in this matter or have a hearing. And your hearing would have been the opportunity to assert any concerns that you had that you believe gave you a lawful right to hold the rent. You understand that you're giving up your hearing in trial?
Yes,
Anyone threatening you to do that,
no,
sir?
no,
She's not threatening you to do that?
no,
Okay, you got 3 business days from today's date. If once you leave here, you realize you misunderstood the rights you've given up, you can return to the court, request to have this set aside, and we'll set it for a hearing. Do you have any questions for the court?
no.
Any additional matters?
no.
Okay, when she comes back, we'll get you a copy of that paperwork, okay?
Thank you.
Can I keep these? Yeah.
No, you can't keep them.
No, those are ours. And it took us forever to get them to fix them for us. They won't work outside of here.
I know you can buy.
They
something
barely
like
work in
that.
here.
Nice.
That's what you need.
We'll wait for
Yeah, we'll wait.
the record in the matter of DWL Indus Realty versus Sherica McDer 24-06597. Is Sherica McDer? Okay. Council appearance.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Robert Akinicki, attorney for the plaintiff.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Angela Trippy, P80120, representing Miss Magruder, who's standing in court to my right.
Okay, today was the date that was scheduled for the hearing, and this is for non-payment of rent. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, I've had a chance to speak with Mr. Akinicki, and we have signed a conditional dismissal, and that is ready to be presented to the court.
Can you put the terms on the record?
Absolutely, Your Honor. In this matter, the defendant shall pay to the plaintiff pursuant to the terms in item 3. The further conditions include ledger to timely reflect new balance of $4,740 for all rent, costs, and fees owed through the date of January 31st, 2025. Third-party agencies are to timely pay or give promise to pay for the portions owed. And under 4B, it is checked, as well as item 7, and that MCR 4.201J was explained to the parties.
Thank you. Counsel?
Thank you very much. Your Honor, may I approach?
Sure. Is that how you want to proceed, Mr. Akinicki?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Magruder, that's how you want to proceed, correct? Okay, so we want the matter dismissed today upon the condition that you agree that the ledger to timely reflect the new balance of $4,740 for all rent costs and fees owed through the end of this month, January 31st, 2024. Third-party agencies to timely pay or give promise to pay for those above portions, correct, ma'am?
Yes.
You understand that you did have the right to proceed to a trial in this matter, and you could have demanded a jury trial. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You want to waive your right to have a trial? Okay. Understand partial payment or performance of this agreement won't satisfy, so you got to get the entirety of this amount paid or a promise to pay timely. Otherwise, they can request to have judgment entered against you without noticing you of any future court date. You understand that?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about that? Okay. You have 3 business days from today's date. If once you leave here, you realize you misunderstood the rights that you've given up, which was the right to have a trial in this matter, you can return to the court, request to have this set aside, and we'll set it for a hearing. You'll explain how you misunderstood your right, okay? Do you have any questions for the court at this time? Okay, we'll get you a copy of the paperwork. Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
No, no, thank you.
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, I'm gonna get you a copy.
There wasn't any room, we're sitting right there outside the door.
It's plenty of room.
Now.
Remain standing. Okay, on the record, in the matter of Thomas Blanc versus Sheila Cookson 24-06294, your name, please?
Thomas J. Blanc.
Okay, your name?
Sheila Cookson.
Okay, today was the date that was scheduled, and this was for a hearing for landlord tenant forfeiture. The parties have resolved this matter with judgment for possession, correct?
Correct.
That's how you want it?
Yes, we did discuss that if I was able to pay the amount owed in between whatever time frame you give, then he would file for dismissal.
Okay, so do you want a consent judgment to enter, or do you want a conditional dismissal?
Would like a consent judgment.
Okay, so the consent judgment means in order to retain possession, you would have to pay the past due rent in the amount of $2,761 plus other money due. What's that for?
That was for the server fees,
46.54,
54,
and
the-
the 110 is the filing fee?
correct, and the
Okay.
back taxes,
Okay, so that could have been together. Back taxes was how much?
$957.06. This
What's
isn't
the
a-
past, yeah, what is the past due?
It's,
Rent
this
to
is a
retain?
land contract,
I'm familiar with
and
that.
it was
I
written in
am
the
familiar
contract.
with that.
I'm sorry,
What was the past due rent or monthly payment owed?
$2,761.
Okay, and you had court costs, it should have been $156.54, correct?
Yes,
Because mine has other money due of $46.54, but if that's a service fee, goes under cost. I don't have anything on here about taxes.
okay.
So you're telling me about taxes, but it's not on here. Was that an agreement that you all had that she's gonna pay the past due taxes owed? Is that what you're agreeing to now?
It's in the contract that we have that I pay the taxes.
But I'm asking as it relates to the judgment, is there a judgment going in, money judgment for that? Did you file for money judgment?
I did not file
Okay,
because this was 7 months ago and the taxes had not come out or anything like that. So-
okay, they hadn't accrued yet, so now they're
Right.
accruing what you're saying, got it.
Correct.
So the past due amount to retain possession is really $2,761 plus whatever this amount was for the taxes is what you're saying?
Correct.
And what was the tax amount?
The $957.06.
You're not disputing that?
No.
Okay, and that's not inclusive of the $2,761.01. Okay. Off the record, so you all can recomplete that, and the amount needs to reflect the past due of the taxes and the total rent to retain, and then court costs and filing fee all go under costs, and then they can sign it.
Okay.
Off the record, you can go with her. Council, which matter are you here for?
Your Honor, I'm here for Riverview Estates and Deanne Adams. I'm standing in for Jimmy Piper today. I just wanted to check in with the court because I have a very ward. Just wanted to let you know I was here.
Okay, is Deanne Adams present? Okay, it's not here yet, but you're here. What was your name, counsel?
Connor Flaherty. E84485.
Okay. You're running a hearing in Judge Ward's?
At 3 o'clock, yeah, it's gonna be five minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, if they don't, if they appear, we'll send someone down there to find you.
Okay, I'll be right back. I just wanted to make sure I checked in.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sir, what matter are you waiting for? Yes.
I'm Jimmy Gonzalez. I'm here, Trappers Cove.
Okay. You've already met with Mr. Bach, though, correct?
Yes, yep, they had me in the-
Okay, you can have a seat. I don't want you to get hit by that door.
Okay, thank
Job between us and dismissed beforehand.
Mr. Blanc, are you ready?
Yes, I am. It's King first. I want to see who.
On the record in the matter of Huron Development versus Jasmine King, 24-08069. Here for the record.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Ron Boxley for Heron Development LLC.
You can come right up there, ma'am. And what's your name for the record? Okay, Ms. King, today was the date that was scheduled for hearing. This is for non-payment of rent, and Mr. Bach, you said there's a conditional dismissal.
Yes, Your Honor, we've agreed. She made a substantial payment just earlier this week, getting her balance down to $697. She's agreed that with this consent judgment. Sorry, consent judgment. The balance is now $697 with $171.54 and costs of $868.54 total to retain possession. She says she'll have that paid by the 20th, which is the normal writ date. Are we using the 20th?
21st.
21st. That's what I thought.
20th is MLK Day.
She'll have that paid. So you sign this consent judgment. May I approach?
Yes. Thank you. So it's a judgment by consent as opposed to a conditional dismissal.
Yes,
That's what you understand, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, so judgment will enter by your consent for the past due amount now $697 plus court costs $171.54. That you'll pay that amount in full or vacate the property in question no later than the 21st of January 2025. Okay, you understand that you had the right to be represented by an attorney today?
Yes.
You had the right to have a trial on this matter or present at the time of your trial or hearing any of the defenses that you believe you have to withholding the rent. You understand that?
Yes.
You wish to give up both your right to be represented by an attorney and your right to trial?
Yes.
Anybody threatening you to do that?
No.
Any promises being made if you give up those rights?
Exactly.
Any promises being made to you to get you to give those rights up?
No.
Okay, we have 3 business days from today's date. If once you leave here, you realize you in fact misunderstood the right that you just given up, You can return to the court request to have this judgment set aside, and you would have to explain how it was that you misunderstood your rights, okay?
Okay.
We'll get you a copy of this judgment in just a moment. Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Have a seat. On the record in the matter of Heron Development versus Jim Gonzalez Wolverton, 24-08068. Appearance, please.
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. Ronald Bach here for Heron Development LLC.
Who is the defendant? Okay, you can have a seat in the back, then, sir. You're
Jimmy
Mr.
Gonzalez Wolverton.
He's my property manager.
I didn't call any witnesses up.
Okay, thank you.
Your name, sir?
Jimmy Gonzalez Wolverton.
Thank you. How are we proceeding today?
Well, we were close to having a consent judgment, but really no dispute. Mr. Wolverton, Gonzalez Wolverton was unsure about signing because he didn't know, we didn't have an attorney with him. So that's where we stand.
You were close to a consent judgment?
Well, there's no dispute. I thought we were going to sign it. There's really no plan to pay it.
I haven't read anything and I'm not here with any legal representation or anything.
Okay.
So I just don't feel comfortable signing something. You gave me the paper.
Okay, what was your plan today?
My plan was to show up and see what I can do from here.
Are you disputing that you owe past due rent, or do you believe that you have a lawful reason for which you withheld that rent?
Well, I'm not disputing that I owe rent, but I was hoping.
What's the amount that you're saying that he owes?
The total with cost is $2,890.54.
You're disputing that amount?
Not necessarily. I don't know the total amount myself, but I can't say.
So
Yes or
then
no.
there's no real dispute then, if you don't, okay. And are you asserting a defense to why you would have to pay that amount?
No, I was just hoping I could get some kind of extension so I could make some kind of payment. I'm a single father. I have a 14-year-old daughter. I got hit with a lot of expenses. I had to take time off of work to help a family member, and I literally have just my car, and I'm afraid of living in a car with my 15-year-old daughter. And I don't, from what this gentleman was telling me, I don't have enough time to even get a storage unit. I recently got back to work and I would like to make payments. I did get a letter stating that I could stay till the end of my lease.
You got a letter
which
from
is,
whom?
From Trappers Cove Apartments. And that would be 3/17/2025.
Right, you can stay, but I'm sure they want some money.
Yes, yeah.
So what is it that you're suggesting, or?
If I could get an extension, I get paid bi-weekly. This week's check is gonna be short. I need to make sure I keep the lights on, my electricity on. I have vehicle payments that I make.
Well, you got this all backwards. And one thing my mom always says, the first thing you pay is the roof over your head.
Yes. I
That's
understand.
first.
I
Now your
understand.
car, not lights.
Yeah.
You can have lights and be homeless.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Doesn't make sense, does it? To pay for a car and lights before you pay your rent.
Yeah, it's cold.
That's up to him if he wants to negotiate a payment plan or schedule.
Yeah. for the
I'm not
time-
negotiating payment plan or telling them that they have to accept their rent in some kind of schedule. That's not what the court's here for. The court is here to resolve if there is a lawful dispute as to why you can withhold your rent from them. You're not disputing that you owe this amount. I can understand that you had some hard times. However, you still owe the money. You can't get to live in people's house for free because you had some hard times. And so the law gives you 10 days to pay the past due amount or vacate. It's up to them if they want to give an extension of that 10 days.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like you all discussed that, or that
We
you
did
all.
discuss it.
Okay,
but,
so there, you're going with the normal writ date though,
Yes.
correct? So you have until the 21st, sir, to pay that amount or vacate. And you would have to talk to the owner of the property manager, if they were to agree to have payment plans. Now, sometimes, and I'm not saying this is the case that you're gonna be in. You can move forward in one of these ways that resolve it, meaning a conditional dismissal or a consent judgment. And then after that is entered in the court, they may negotiate a payment arrangement with you because now they got something substantial in court. That if you're not dealing the way you're supposed to, they can still remove you without having to start the process all over. But that has no real control over, I don't have any control over that.
No,
That's
I-
between you and the landlord. And so you didn't want to sign a consent judgment because you didn't have an attorney.
Yeah, I was told I'd get contacted by legal, with legal help.
So you met with legal services at your pretrial.
I met in the Zoom, the other Zoom meeting.
Yes.
I said I was gonna be contacted with, and I never got contacted with.
That means that they're not able to represent you for whatever reason.
Okay.
Yeah, so they don't have the capacity to take every case. So if it's to them a run of the mill eviction, you just need to pay the rent. They can't take cases for that.
Yeah, I'm just scared because I didn't read anything and I don't know the total amount myself. I don't have anyone here to help me.
You can put the terms on the record.
I'm just kind of scared.
Yes, at the time, there's $2,719 owed in rent, past due rent. Costs of $171.54 for a total reaching $2,890.54. The date is January 21st, as long as the appeal date of January 21st.
What's your monthly rent, sir?
I believe it's just over, there's, with everything that I was paying, it was $965, but then I also had they were including pet rent, and they were including renter's insurance.
So it sounds like you're a couple months behind. That sounds about right?
Yes.
Okay. So you're not disputing that amount. Judgment's going to enter by court order if you don't consent. That's the only, that's fine.
I understand.
Doesn't have any,
I was just
no, you don't have to sign it. It has no different effect than if
Yeah.
I were to make a ruling that that's the amount that you owe and that you got to pay it or vacate the property by the 21st. You understand that?
I understand.
You had the right to be represented by an attorney. I recognize that you did make a request to have the legal services represent you. They've not taken this case, but you'd still have the right to hire or retain counsel to represent you at your own expense. You've appeared without counsel today. And so the court can't stall the case because of that, okay? And so nonetheless, Mr. Bach, you can change that to hearing. That's correct.
May I approach?
Yes. Okay, let's see. So judgment will enter in the favor of the plaintiff, the amount of the past due $2,719 plus court costs of $171.54 for a total amount due $2,890.54. That you'll pay that amount or you'll vacate the property in question no later than the 21st of this month. Do you have any questions at this time, sir?
I understand you can't do anything, but is there a way that I could get a contact information? I know he's representing in court, but.
Contact for your landlord?
Yeah.
I think that's the guy that you should probably want to talk to there. And you should probably get his contact before you leave, and maybe you all can talk about how you can make some payments and payment installments to keep a roof over your head in the interim. But that's between you all, okay? We'll get you a copy of that in just a moment, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional matters for the record?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
You're all set. The record again in the matter of Thomas Blanc versus Sheila Cookson, 24-06294. Okay, so I now have a judgment on the appropriate paperwork, and this is for judgment to enter by consent, past due amount $2,761.01. I still don't see anything about, okay, a cure for breach, pay delinquent taxes. Have they been paid at all, the taxes? Okay, so you want her to pay them directly, correct? You're gonna pay those taxes?
I'm gonna attempt to, yes.
You're gonna attempt to?
Yes.
Okay. What's the amount of the taxes again? $957.06.
Yes.
You understood your right to be represented by an attorney, ma'am?
Yes.
You want to give up that right?
Yes.
You also have the right to proceed to a trial or hearing in this matter and present any defenses that you believe you have to non-payment of this amount. You understand that?
Yes.
You have 3 business days from today's date. If once you leave here, you realize you misunderstood those rights that you've given up, you can return to the court and request to have this judgment set aside, okay?
Okay.
It was less than 50% of the purchase price paid so far.
I believe it's
Yeah.
over,
Um,
because it was a 15-year lease and we're
Yeah.
10 years into it. So
Correct.
it's over 50.
Well, that makes a big difference. Was it less than 50% or more, sir?
I'm sure it's more.
Or not lease, I'm sorry, it's both, but contract.
Get your copy of the paperwork. Any additional matters for the record? Do you have any questions?
No.
No.
Okay, you're all set. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Okay, we can give her a new date because I don't see Mr. Whichever matter she would, Mr. Bell.
Yeah, February 12th at 2.
Ma'am, we're gonna set that matter to February 12th at 2. Thank you. Got your paperwork, sir?
Yeah.
You're free to go. You're welcome. Sir, what's your name? I'm sorry?
Sam.
You can remove your hood. Sleeping in the back seat. Mr. Bach, you have another one?
I do. This is another consent judgment. For Mr. Lino.
Okay, on the record in the matter of Heron Development LLC versus Lino 24-08070. Council Parent.
Yes, good afternoon, Ron Bach with Heron Development LLC.
State your name for the record, sir.
Samuel.
Okay. It's scheduled today for a hearing. This is for non-payment of rent. Council, how did you all resolve this?
We've agreed to enter a consent judgment. The situation here, the rent to retain is $3,835.64 with $171.54 in costs for a total to retain of $4,007.18. But the reality of the matter is he's actually already moved out. He's only got a few more belongings to get out. He said he can get those out before the rent date of January 21.
That's how you want to proceed, sir?
Yep. That approach.
Yes.
And there was no money judgment, so possession only.
Okay, so you want judgment to enter by consent where you could pay the pastor rent to retain $3,835.64 plus court costs of $171.51, a total amount $4,007.18 on or before the 21st of this month or vacate by that date, correct?
Yep.
Is that a yes?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, you understand that you have the right to be represented by an attorney in this matter?
Yeah.
You want to give up that right?
Yeah.
You also have the right to proceed to a trial. You could have demanded a jury trial, or we could have proceeded with your hearing today, at which time you could have presented any defenses that you believe you had to why you held the right. You understand that?
Yes.
You want to give up your hearing and trial?
Yes.
Anyone threatening you to do that?
No.
You have 3 business days from today's date. If once you leave here, you realize you misunderstood those rights that we just went over, you can return to the court and request to have that judgment set aside. You would have to explain to me how you misunderstood your rights, okay? We'll get you a copy of that paperwork and you'll be all set. Any additional matters, counsel?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is Deanne Adams here? Counsel, you were here for that matter?
I am here. You want me to check the hallway and see?
She's here.
She is?
Maria.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Your Honor, do you want us to take a moment just to talk?
Absolutely.
Okay. Ms. Adams, do you want to meet me out in the hallway for a second? Yes. Is anybody here from Riverview?
Holly Donovan,
Yes,
how can I help you?
I was here for, Deanne Adams at 3:15.
Our matters for hearing are set for in-person appearance.
Yes, I apologize. I was really sick and I've had COVID, so, I had tried calling down there. I wasn't sure how to go about this, but I at least wanted to be present.
You need to contact the attorney. I think he was just looking to see if any representative was here. You need to contact him.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
you're welcome.
Have the attorney seen?
Yes, Todd Bronson, Twin Oaks. They've not appeared. The attorney for the co-defendant appeared. I told her she was all set because her matter was resolved. I don't have a plaintiff's attorney or a representative here for Twin Oaks Meadows. Doesn't say anything.
I was trying to find the date of the other hearing, so I can pull it. Nothing.
Let me see if the native plans show. I don't see those appearing. They adjourn. But that was for Nikki Spiker. Step to adjourn.
For the hearing for the fourth.
Yeah, I got a step to adjourn. And now I have a consent order of conditional dismissal in here. Let's see, 150. Todd Bronson. It says attorney Nikki Spiker. What's your name?
Nikki.
Well, that makes sense. That attorney represents Nikki Spiker. But what's your name, sir?
Actually.
Okay, that's who we don't have an issue. That's who we don't have one for. It's for him. Yours has been all set. I've taken care of yours. No one's appeared for him. I'm gonna dismiss him because they failed to appear. I entered yours back on the 20th. Let me get you a copy of the dismissal. You're not here for Twin Oaks at all, are you?
I'm not
Oh.
here.
You can have a seat. Don't stand by the door. You get hit. On the record, in the matter of advanced development versus Charles Dean, 4-08386, appearance please.
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. Ron Buckley for Advanced Development Realty.
What's your name?
Charles Dean.
Okay,
Sorry
today's,
about that, yeah.
no problem. Today's the date that was set for a hearing for termination of tenancy. Did you all resolve this matter?
Yes, we did, Your Honor. We've agreed to enter the consent judgment.
Put the terms on the record, please.
Excuse me?
You can put the terms on the record.
Oh, the terms on the record, there's no money. It's not filed as a pay to stay. So basically, we've agreed to a writ date of January 21, same as the appeal date of January 21. I did explain MCR 4201 to Mr. Dean.
That's how you want to proceed, Mr. Dean?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so you understand that you have the right to be represented by an attorney in this matter? I can't hear head nods.
Yes, yes,
Thank
yes,
you.
Your Honor.
Okay, and so you want to give up your right to be represented by an attorney?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
You have the right to proceed to a trial in this matter. You could have demanded a jury trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You want to give up your right to have a trial in this?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so judgment will enter against you by consent where you agree to vacate the property before January 21st, 2025, correct? I'm asking you.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, okay. Anyone threatening you to do this?
No, Your Honor.
Any promises if you vacate by this date?
No.
Okay, you have 3 business days from today's date. If once you leave here, you realize you misunderstood the rights that you have given up, which is your right to trial and your right to be represented by an attorney, you can return to the court in those 3 business days, file a motion to set aside judgment and explain how you misunderstood your rights, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
We'll get you a copy of the paperwork. Do you have any questions for the court?
No, I just want to just say, I apologize to Mr. Bo for bringing me down here in front of the court.
Mr. Bowles, the apology was for you. Do you accept the apology?
Sure.
Apology accepted on the record. Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
No, Your Honor. Thank you very much. But if I have nightmares tonight, it's your fault.
My fault?
Yeah.
Why?
Because one of my biggest fears is I have a stack of hearings and I come down here and I do all but one. And somehow I didn't print it, bring it. I walked out and said, oh, I had 7 hearings. Oh, I meant
How exactly would that be my fault?
because you said, are you here for Mr. Bronson? And I was thinking, I don't think I'm here for Mr.
If
Bronson.
you forgot to do your hearing, then it would be your fault though, not mine. Correct?
But I didn't, but I so I'm gonna have a
Exactly.
bad dream that I did.
Well, yeah, that's an attorney's nightmare, isn't it? A missed deadline or,
Yes, it happens.
indeed, indeed.
You wake up thinking, did I?
I
file
had-
that?
I have it all, I used to have it all the time at the AG's office. I would wake up like, oh, I had a deadline. Okay, unless you have questions for me, you're all set.
Thank you, Your
Thank you,
Honor.
Judge. I got one more. They're here. We're gonna go talk.
Sounds good. Are you ready on your matter, sir?
Your Honor. We're actually gonna request a adjournment if the court is willing to do that.
This is Adams, correct?
This is Adams, yes, Your Honor. Riverview.
How much time are you looking for?
A 1 week or 2 week adjournment, Your Honor.
What is the purpose of the adjournment?
Ms. Adams has shown me some pictures of the premises and has indicated that part of the charges on her ledger are for water. And if she wants to show the court, I have them right here. She gave me a copy. If you want to show them to her.
Is it because of some conditions at the property? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's my pipes are freezing.
Your pipe first, you said?
It's not even my pipe though. That's the biggest problem.
So
I own my trailer, but it's their pipe. Like they don't have water from Lansing Board of Water and Light. They have their own well. So right where the pipe is going into my trailer, it's cracked and it's just leaking now. So when it does unthaw, it's just going to spill out.
Okay, so you're trying to work through that anytime.
Right, this is the first I'm hearing about it. I just wanted to, and I have to talk to the property owner. This particular issue, so.
I did advise, your client did appear in Zoom. I told him that she should call you. She is present on Zoom. Did they
She
call you?
is. I tried calling her and I wasn't able to get hold of her.
She's still on my Zoom. Hold up.
Okay.
Is Donovan? I think she said she was not feeling well or something to that effect.
Yes, I apologize.
Okay, your attorney is present in the courtroom. Your matter is gonna be reset.
Okay.
January 15th. January 15th at 1:30
Okay.
in person. Any additional matters today?
Oh, Your Honor, thank you very much for your time. Holly, I hope you feel better. I heard you're not feeling well.
Yeah, I've had COVID and RSV and it's been a mess.
Okay, well, I hope you feel better. I tried giving you a ring here. I'll try again here in a little bit.
Okay.
And we can talk.
Okay, sounds good.
I think you're all set.
Thank you.
I'm happy New Year to you.
Same on the record in the matter of the estate of Augustine versus Mariana Aruin and Paul Maldonado, 24-08290, parents please.
Yes, good afternoon. Ronald Bach here for the estate of Augustine. There.
Your name?
Mariana Aragon.
Your name? Okay, today was a date set for hearing. This is for termination of tenancy. How are we proceeding?
Yes, we've agreed to an entry of consent judgment for the normal writ date of 121. There's no money, it wasn't filed as a pay to stay, it wasn't filed for a request for money judgment, so it's just the out date of 121.
That's accurate as to how you want to proceed? Maldonado? Okay, you understand that you both have the right to be represented by an attorney at this proceeding?
Yes.
You want to give up that right? You have the right to also proceed to trial. You could have demanded a jury trial in this matter. You understand that right as well?
Yes.
You want to give up that right?
Yeah.
Anyone threatening you to give these rights up? Anyone's forcing you to give these rights up?
No.
Okay. So judge will enter by your consent whereby you agree to vacate the property in question no later than the 21st of this month. You have 3 business days from today's date, Mr. Bach. Yes, you have 3 business days from today's date to return to the court. If once you leave here, you realize you misunderstood those rights that we just discussed, you can return to the court and request to have this set aside and explain how you misunderstood those rights, okay? We'll get you a copy of this paperwork. Do you have any questions? Any additional matters for the record?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
You're all set, thank you.
I won't blame you if I have bad dreams.
That would not be my fault, it'd be yours. You gotta get your planner or an assistant. Okay,